Shalom. Hanukkah is almost here. For so many Jews, Hanukkah is their favorite holiday, full of childhood and adult memories of lighting the Chanukiah with family and friends, exchanging gifts, memories of latkes and sufganiyot, jelly donuts. As we prepare for the holiday, we might want to revisit part of the foundation of the festival. Because the lighting of the Chanukiah is such a strong practice in our community, when you ask people about the festival and its meaning, they have a ready answer. Hanukkah is a celebration of the Maccabee victory over the enemies of the Jewish people. The Syrian Greeks were oppressing the Jews in the land of Israel by outlawing the observance of Shabbat, circumcision, the study of Torah, and overall oppressing the people. Finally, they erected idols in the temple in Jerusalem. The Maccabees defeated the enemy, cleaned, restored, and rededicated the temple. But when they went to light the menorah in the temple, they could find only one cruse of pure oil that was appropriate for lighting in the temple. But they lit the menorah anyway with that one cruse of oil, and a miracle occurred. Oil that should have lasted only one day lasted for 8 days. And as the story goes, that is why we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days. Part of the foundation of this story is found in the Talmud, along with the explanation of how we are instructed to light the Hanukkah lights. But there's another, at least one other, explanation for why Hanukkah is an 8-day festival. You see, you have to understand what was on the minds of all of the Jews of Israel at the time of the Maccabees. And in fact, it's been on the mind of all people who live in the land of Israel since that time as well. Rain is on their mind. Rain was on the mind of the Maccabees as well. They were worried about whether the rain would fall in that season. The rabbis tell us that part of the reason God gave the Jewish people the land of Israel was so that we would feel connected to God, that we would rely on God for the rain. And the seasons in Israel are not like the seasons here in the United States. From about Passover time until the fall, no rain will fall in the land of Israel. So the winter, the rainy season, is a really critical time for crops and for water for the coming year. So the rain that comes in the winter is really the difference between having enough water for the fields and to drink and the possibility of drought. Now, with the land of Israel in the midst of a war and the Syrian Greeks in control of the temple, the Jewish people weren't able to celebrate the festival of Sukkot in the fall. Now, there are many sides to the celebration of Sukkot: joy, thanksgiving for the harvest, living in the sukkah, shaking the lulav and etrog. But a key element, both yesterday and today, is the focus on rain and prayers to God for rain. But that year, they weren't able to celebrate Sukkot in the temple because of the idols, because of the Syrian Greeks' control of the temple at the time. The first opportunity to celebrate was after the Maccabees reclaimed and rededicated the temple at the end of the month of Kislev, during the winter. The victory was not all that was on their minds. As I said, they had rain on their minds. And so that year they celebrated the festival of Sukkot late, kind of a make-up Sukkot. And how many days is Sukkot? According to the Torah, the festival of Sukkot is a 7-day festival with one extra day, which we call Shmini Atzeret. 7 plus 1, and there you have it, an 8-day holiday. And that's what the Maccabees did. They celebrated a late Sukkot for 8 days. The following year, they celebrated Sukkot in its proper time, in the early fall. But to remember the victory and the rededication of the temple, they instituted an 8-day festival each year in the month of Kislev. Now, aside from the broader historical understanding of the origins of Hanukkah, I think there's an important message for us in recognizing the connection to Sukkot. So many Jews celebrate Hanukkah. It's one of the most well-known and well-observed practices of the American Jewish community. But if you think back on why this holiday came to be, you see it came to be because our ancestors wanted the opportunity to celebrate their holidays, to celebrate their traditions, to learn Torah, and to raise their children as Jews. They wanted this so badly that they risked their lives for it, and many died because of it. When they finally achieved victory, they celebrated a festival that had already passed. The dedication of the temple was a result of their dedication to Jewish life, even under harsh conditions. We in the United States have a tremendous opportunity to celebrate our Jewish history and traditions, to celebrate being Jewish. We don't need a make-up Sukkot or Shavuot or any other Jewish holiday. We can celebrate it at the right time. Unfortunately, we sometimes take that for granted. Wouldn't it be great if we all took the time right now as we prepare for the festival of Hanukkah to take out our calendars, to enter the coming year's holidays on our calendars, to plan on dedicating time to celebrating that beautiful sense of Jewishness inside each one of us, celebrating with our spouses, our parents, our children, and our friends, not only on Hanukkah, but on Tu B'Shvat, and on Purim, and on Pesach, and on Shavuot, and on Yom HaAtzmaut, for all of the Jewish holidays. Celebrating Hanukkah is beautiful. Dedicating yourself to more Jewish celebrations throughout the year is even more so. May the dedication of the Maccabees inspire you during your celebration of Hanukkah. Chag Urim Sameach. May you have a happy festival of lights.